What if Deku had a half and half quirk? Part 4. So, where I left off, Deku just beat Bakugo in the UA Sports Festival. And now they're walking back to the classroom a day after this. Once they get there, they see a bunch of papers on the desk. Once they sit down, Aisawa starts handing the papers out, saying that each student got a number of the requests to be a part of their hero agency for internships. Deku and Todoroki, of course, go to Endeavor because it's his dad. Don't forget, Deku is Todoroki's twin brother. So, walking there, or having to take the train there, it's in Hosu City. And I'm just going to time skip right to the night of the attack. The reason is because all they did was gruesome training. For Todoroki, it's what Deku did when he was probably 10. That just shows you how far ahead Deku is. While Deku was doing over 10,000 push-ups, sit-ups, squats a day, he just keeps doing that, and he runs around 100 miles a day. If you can imagine that, I can basically say, I believe I saw this thing where it said a woman ran 50 miles in 48 hours, while Deku's running this all in the span of a day for a week. His legs are probably giving out. Like, by the end of this, he wouldn't be able to walk from how much training he's been doing. But after the 4th day, his body starts getting used to it, so where he doesn't feel as much pain, which inevitably gives him probably around stronger than Endeavor, probably, maybe just a little bit weaker, but he could probably beat Endeavor if he had full angelic demon form, which, if you guys would have watched part 2, you would have known angelic demon form is actually only 50% of the full power, which Deku ended up getting full power, but only in rash situations, like in dire situations. So, on the night of the attack, Deku and Endeavor and Todoroki go out walking around, patrolling. It's when a massive explosion occurs and Deku is sent back into a wall. As he gets up in a daze to see that Endeavor and Todoroki are sending fire at the Nomus, Deku's like, wait, Ida, his brother got attacked. Oh, damn it, Ida. Yo, he yells over to his dad and says, I'm gonna go find the hero killer. He's probably here to outvote heroes. So just give me permission to use my quirk. And he's like, permission granted. Or he's like, you can use your quirk as long as you bring that hero killer in. As Deku just starts running away. As soon as Deku starts jumping around, searching alleyway from alleyway, and he's losing hope. He's searching his last alleyway, only to find that Ida was in it. And Deku's like, God damn it, Ida, why'd you have to go searching for vengeance? As Deku charges at the hero killer, basically putting the claw, he puts his claw right on the dirt and throwing it up into the hero killer's eyes, then jumping up and slashing him right in the face before backflipping and taking out his sword and slashing it in the air, sending out a light beam straight at the hero killer. And the hero killer's like, you have more potential than I thought. Guess I'll have to go all out. So the hero killer starts charging at Deku, just aimlessly slashing. And Deku's like, your arrogance. arrogance and greed for more is what stops you from winning. As Deku puts his hand to his chest and takes out his Demon Slayer sword and just whacks it right on the hero killer, just knocking him out, like with the blunt side of the blade. And he's like, that was pretty easy. As he ties up the hero killer and puts him on the, he wraps up the hero killer, puts him like on the side of the road, calls the police, fixes, like, takes bandages and fixes Ida and Native. But all of a sudden, a Nomu comes out of nowhere, and Deku just sees this, like, without even looking, takes out his light sword and just slashes the Nomu, like, straight in half. Like, if you guys have seen how, like, not straight in half from, like, the waist, but, like, from the middle of the face down. So one side has one leg and one arm, while the other side has one leg and one arm, like that. And like, blood spews everywhere, and he's like, should have learned not to mess with me. As Deku just... As the police come, and, like, the police are like, hey, do you have a hero license? And he's like, no, but Endeavor gave me the permission to use my Quirk. He's like, oh, okay, cool. There's like a small crowd gathered around to see that he beat the hero killer. So randomly while walking, like, kids come up to him and say, hey, can we have your autograph? You're the guy that beat the hero killer, right? And he's like, yep. As he just, like, signs it and just walks away. Like, not really caring. As he's walking away, he goes to bed at his house. Next day, does his workouts and goes to UA, where everyone's like, hey, dude, congrats on beating the hero killer. And he's like, cool, thanks, bro. Like, he has an Uno side, which is everything besides training and fighting. If he's fighting or training, he acts like Asta. Asta or Asta? He acts like Asta, basically. So, once he gets back, he discovers that they are going to be doing finals in 2 weeks. And if they don't pass, they're going to if they don't pass, they're not going to go to the summer camp. Deku's just like, meh, if I lose, I lose. As he takes the next 2 weeks to train at 20,000 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and 200-mile run every single day. On the final day, he does this, but yet again, he feels nothing afterwards. He doesn't feel... His stamina is so high to the point where he's even stronger than Endeavor now. He could possibly rival All Might with his power. Don't forget, he has yet to unlock full potential of this. He may get 100% power, but that doesn't mean full potential. If you guys have seen Lego Ninjago, random reference, if you guys have seen their full potential form, it's godlike. It's so much more powerful than their normal form. So, Deku trains, and now he could possibly rival All Might. If he unlocks full potential, which would only happen if he needs it in a dire situation, he would be able to beat All Might, maybe even All for One. So after the 2 weeks of Deku's training himself to near death every single day, he walks only to realize that he also grew a little, so now he's like 6 feet tall, and that his uniform shows off his muscles. All the girls are just staring at him, and all the boys are like, what the hell? What the fuck? Why? What happened to you? As Deku walks in, and he's like, yo, I'm ready for the finals. As they do the written exam, and then they start the final exam. As Deku and Bakugo are paired up to fight All Might. As Deku tries to make a plan, but only for Bakugo to say, "I don't need you, I'll beat All Might by myself." Deku's just like, You're arrogant, just like the hero killer. That's why you will always lose. You're too rash in situations. You need to be calm. Stop focusing on your anger and greed." As Deku walks in after Nezzy says start, and Deku just starts walking away. He doesn't even care. He just stays in the shadows and watches Bakugo get beat up until he's knocked out. Deku goes and checks his pulse and says, "What did I tell you? Could never have beaten All Might even at 100%. As Deku charges at All Might and takes his Demon Slayer sword and light magic sword and just slashes All Might for an array of blood to spew out. And everyone's like, "Ew, what the heck is he doing?" As Deku just keeps cutting at All Might, but it's not severe cuts. It's tiny cuts that will bleed. And he's putting these everywhere. Like, they're small gashes, probably. Like, they're maybe the amount of blood you get from picking a scab or something stupid like that. As blood is surrounding All Might, he falls to one knee and he's like, "What the hell?" As Deku puts a sword to All Might's neck and he says, "I win." As All Might passes out from blood loss, and everyone's like, he just beat All Might. He just beat All Might. And everyone's kind of fearful of like what Deku just used. The only reason he beat All Might was because of the weights. I'd say Endeavor would still have a hard time beating All Might with the weights on, but don't forget Deku's stronger than Endeavor. Deku could easily overthrow him and become the number 2 hero if he wanted to. So, Deku beat All Might only because of the weights, as Deku just took All Might and flew off the recovery girl. So, hope you guys did enjoy this part 4. And in part 5, which is going to be which is part 5, which will be on Monday, which I'll do the training camp. Oh, and before I go, I really need you guys to tell me, should I do what if Deku had built Cypher's powers or One Punch Man's powers? See you guys. Bye.